Hey guys, this is Roxum087. I just want to make a quick video about how to do a very tiny maintenance part to your Tokyo Marine M4 MWS, which is your buffer tube. So this is a fantastic question that someone has asked me. He basically asked me, hey, I noticed the rear plate of my buffer tube coming loose. Which is basically when you see this part over here, you see there's a bit of daylight, it's actually coming a little bit loose. And people have been asking me, what do I do about this? Is this a really big deal, and so on and so forth. Well, to be honest with you, I don't notice any major drawback to this becoming a little bit loose, but I'd rather have it tight. So for me personally, I'm actually going to loosen this up, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do it while I'm fixing it. So the reason why this came loose in the first place is because this is actually my custom Tokyo Marine M4 where I do all my testing for Ray Tactical Solutions, and I'm using the Angry Gun steel buffer. And the reason why I use this is because for testing purposes, it basically tells me if something is gas efficient or something is not. Because if it can run the steel buffer and still bolt lock and do everything fine, then it can run anything else fine. So take apart your upper, take your buffer off, and your buffer spring out. Now inside here, there's a Phillips head screw. I can't show you that, it's because it's way too deep. My camera cannot go that far deep. And neither can my screwdriver. So what happens is that, right now, I am actually going to loosen that screw completely as of right now. And the reason why is because, I'll show you in a moment. Just give me a moment. Oh, I'll show you in a moment. Try not to scratch your buffer tube while you're doing it. It's because the inside of the buffer tube is very well polished. But my screwdriver is not long enough, so I have to do the rest of this part by finger. Okay, there we go. So I just took the rear cap off, and then there's a screw in here. So basically how this works is that this rear part, you can turn it with your hand. Sorry, the camera position. I'm new to this new camera position, so I'm not very good. So you see how that can be twisted out? So that's basically your rear end cap right there. You can see that's how my steel buffer has been smacking it. You can tell that's perfectly circular. That's actually pretty funny. Wow, it's pretty banged up actually. Oh, it's a bit indented. That's quite interesting. So this Tokyo Marine M4 hasn't had that many rounds, only about 4,000 or so, and that's what it looks like. Quite interesting. I was actually curious about that anyways. So what do? Add thread lock. That's all you do. Now at this point, I add a little bit more than usual. Whoops, that's a bit too much. That's way too much. Sorry about that. And then I just screw it in. Don't use the gun immediately. Let it sit for a while. And then just tighten it by hand. So don't use as much thread lock as I did just now. That was my mistake. Just, use enough. I use blue thread lock is because blue thread lock is very easy to undo. If you use red thread lock, you will have a tough time. So I just use blue thread lock and then torqued it in by hand. That's all you need to do. Just torque it all the way to as tight as you can, and then that's more than enough. Now the last thing that you do is that you see this screw here? This is the screw that mounts onto this, right? Do not thread lock it. If you thread lock it, you will have a tough time getting it out this time, because since the screw is that deep, you have to remember you're probably going to rely on an electric screwdriver to help you torque it out. And with electric screwdrivers, many people always strip their screws when they do it. If you're confident with one, go ahead and thread lock this, but if you're not, I suggest you to not thread lock this. It's because you do not need to. As long as you torque it in correctly into this, you will be fine. I'm just gonna torque it in. Just give me a moment. I need the light, so I have to angle the gun away from you guys. Because I can't see into the buffer tube. Yep, okay. Oh. You know what, I'm actually in the middle of watching a video called NZXT H440 PC case. It looks so goddamn cool. Apparently that thing came out in 2014. It's now 2017, but I really want one right now. I'm probably going to go out and get one in the morning after I'm done with this. So, it's not completely tight yet. I'm just going to give it a few quick turns. Okay, and that's good. And then that's your buffer tube area secured. So now you just go back out in game and don't worry about it having to come loose. Some people told me that when they use the steel buffer on the Yagri gun, that they managed to completely eject the rear part off their buffer tube and sheared something off. I'm going to be quite honest with you, I've never seen that before, so I don't know what to tell you about that. All I can tell you is that do this, and then you'll never have to do it again. Like, I did this to all of my M4s, I've never once touched them ever again. Because basically, it never comes loose after you do that. The red dry thread lock that Tokyo Marine likes to use on a lot of their crap, that thread lock is, I think it might be some form of dry thread lock. That's the reason why it comes out in flakes, I think. And it's very, very weak. Sorry if this video is not super clear. I'm trying a new camera angle that I'm not used to seeing. So I hope you guys don't mind that. It's because Okay guys, so check this out. This is the recoil, by the way. It feels so nice with the steel buffer. Oh, it just feels absolutely like heaven. Oh, so let's test the bolt lock. Okay, all's good. So that's it. That's how you do the buffer tube, just to make sure the rear end cap is secure, and that's all you do. Very, very simple to do. Some people have never taken it apart, so some people are not familiar with how that looks like. If you're new, good for you. So that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think. Please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. I also have a Facebook page that you can follow me on, in which I'll leave a link in the description box below. If you wish to support the Rogue Systems 087 channel, please visit my website at raytacticalsolutions.com. I actually make a product, which is the Tokyo Marine M4 MWS bolt. If you're interested in that, you can check that out. I'm selling that for around $90 to $100 US. And it's made out of 7075 T6 aluminum. So, thank you guys for watching. Peace.